Yeah, everyone, welcome to the call. It's good to have everybody on the call. It's good as usual to see so many names on the call. My name is Paul McCarthy, and I'll be doing today's webinar with a company called Dascoin. Very exciting times, guys, and a lot of us on the call are in the business and already has heard the presentation, and which is good. A lot of people are here for the first time. We have new people on the call as well, and that's good too. So I'd like to reach out and welcome you all to the call. Take some notes, guys, over the next 30 to 45 minutes. We'll be joined with a guest speaker from the company. And also from the new people, I would like just to give you an introduction to what this is all about, As I said from the off, my name is Paul McCarthy, and I'm privileged and proud to be involved in a company with this magnitude. Just a bit on myself, a lot of you would know me. I've been working online 8 years, and I've been fortunate enough to be involved in some fantastic companies. And like everybody else working online, I've learned my trade um, the hard way, and basically I've been involved in some companies that haven't been so good either, and but that's okay. I've learned, but it took me 8 years, along the journey. The last few years have been absolutely amazing for me. Before I join a company now, I do a lot of research. I go meet the owners of the company. I sit down with the company, and before we decide to move or join a company, we do an awful lot of research. And when my business partner, Matthias Guzda, came to me with Dascoin, first and foremost, I was very active in building another online company, and we'd over 100,000 people in that company. I was very committed, which I still am. But when he asked me to look at Dascoin, I was open. So if you're on this call for the first time, that's what I would suggest to you, to be open to listen to something new. A lot of people have a closed mind and they're not open. They're not receptive to what's out there. And for me, I was open, even though I said no after the first time listening. Myself and Matthias were going on an Asian tour, and then we met Terry Ahern, one of the owners of the company, and he explained the vision of the company, and I still said no, and that's being honest. And then I met a gentleman called Blair Baker, and then he outlined to me of the vision, what I'm going to explain to you in this call, and he captured my imagination completely, and not saying that Terry didn't, Terry had a lot of strong points, but for me to join a company, it has to be something special, because to be so involved and have over 100,000 people in your organization, to move to a company and to join a company, because what we do, we travel around the world to support our team. So it's not just joining a company, there's a lot of work in building a company from ground up. And this company was literally from the ground up, from the networking point of view. There was only something like over 100 people in the company. So timing was perfect. When I saw the vision of the company was perfect, So, and for the last few months, this has absolutely been the program online. This is the program that everybody is joining. This is the program that people are leaving checks, six-figure checks, just to join this program. There is nothing out there, in my opinion, that's as exciting as Dascoin right now. It's really, really exciting, guys. So before I talk about Dascoin, it's very important, to talk about cryptocurrency, because that's the key, cryptocurrency. Richard Branson, a man we all know, this is what he had to say. It feels strange to think of a world without cash, but it appears that's the way things are heading. The founder of the Virgin Group. Bill Gates, in the future, financial transactions will be digital, universal, and almost free. So cryptocurrency. Satoshi Nakamoto, in 2008, he was tired of the banks, tired of Western Unions, tired of PayPal, Nutella, all these processors. And what he wanted to do was go back to the beginning of time. If you go back to when time began, there was a thing called bartering. And what bartering was, it was me trusting you. I give you a fish, you give me a chicken. There was no middleman. There was no banks, no Western Union. It was trust, and it was called bartering. As time went on, You know, things evolved, and someone could pass a bit of food, and one food might go off. So they started trading with silver coins. And then what happened? They started trading with gold coins. As evolution progressed, then they came up with this thing called paper money. And they said, we're going to back this paper money with gold. Then Nixon in 1969 made one of the biggest mistakes in financial history of the world and says, everybody trusts this paper stuff. We don't need to back it by gold anymore. And we all know who bought up all the gold, mainly in China. No? And as time evolved again, they started running out of money. And when they started running out of money, they came up with this thing called a credit card. And now, as we all know, the next evolution from credit card is applications, is apps. You know, so like now people predicted Bitcoin over 10 years ago before it started. It predicted, like at the moment, there's a financial mess. The world is in a financial mess. Anybody who doesn't know that is not keeping up with the times. Just the markets are on an all-time high, and there's a big crash coming. So what Bitcoin does, for the people who never heard of cryptocurrency before, Bitcoin is a system where I can transfer you money instantly with no middleman. It's gone back to the beginning of time. And that's how simple Bitcoin is explained. I can transfer you money with no banks, no intermediary, no PayPal, no Nutella. A very small fee. This is the evolution of Bitcoin. And Bitcoin is the start. Okay? And it's been the pioneer. You know, Bitcoin have a lot of strengths. I'm a big fan of Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin. You know, but remember, Bitcoin is the first. But as evolution, as we all know, other cryptocurrencies will come. There's over 1,000 different cryptocurrencies. There's loads of cryptocurrencies, but Bitcoin is the main player right now. A true story. This is very, very important to grasp this. Some people's minds can't comprehend this, but this is very important to grasp. A man purchased Bitcoins for $27 in 2009. He forgets about them. Look at the bottom, guys. In The Guardian, October the 7th, 2013. In 2013, he finds out they are worth $886,000. I believe with what I'm going to show you today, we have this opportunity before our eyes now. Let's say it doesn't turn into $860,000. Let's say it turns into 10,000, 5,000. But I believe what I'm presenting to you today is the most exciting thing I've ever seen in 8 years. You know, that's what I believe. Not just me, all the other leaders who have come and joined the company. I have never seen an appetite to people to join a program so fast. Normally, when you go and present a program to somebody, some people will say yes, some people will say no, and some people will take their time. You know, just everyone's different. But at a percentage, like, you know, if you talk to 10 people, if you get 3 to sign up, that's fantastic. If you talk to 10 people in Dascoin, from my experience, I've 8 people signing up. I've never seen a conversion like I've seen now with Dascoin, ever. Not even close. This is the story of Bitcoin. Nobody believed in Bitcoin at the start. The governments laughed at it. Venture capital laughed at it. And as time progressed, Bitcoin got more acceptable. In 2013, it shot up to the highs of $1,200. It came back down. People said Bitcoin was dead. Went back up. Bitcoin is back. Bitcoin has been dead and back more times than anybody else. Just put into Google, is Bitcoin dead? I started mining Bitcoin myself personally about 2 years ago, and I'm still doing that today. When it was $200, I was telling people when it was $200 that in 3 to 5 years Bitcoin will be $10,000. Everybody was laughing. It's at the highs of $750 today. Bitcoin is here to stay. Bitcoin is going nowhere. You know, it's going nowhere. And for me, it's the pioneer. But this slide here is so important. Bitcoin may not be the perfect global currency of the future yet, but it's the pioneer of the global currency. There will be other currencies like it that may be even better. Let me say that one more time. There will be other currencies like it that may be even better. That's a big statement from Sir Richard Branson. Bitcoin won't be the dominant system. We need things that draw on the revolution of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin alone is not good enough. Let me say that one more time. Bitcoin won't be the dominant system. We need things that draw on the revolution of Bitcoin, but Bitcoin alone is not good enough. Huge statement from Bill Gates, the founder of Microsoft. Before I go on to the next slide, listen to this and challenge your mind. Ask yourself the questions. You're not looking at a normal presentation today. You're not looking at something like just another program online. You are looking at something special. And I mean that from my heart. You're looking at something special. When I met Blair Baker, when he challenged me on Bitcoin, he said, you come from a decentralized environment. Decentralized means Bitcoin, peer-to-peer. You trust the person, there is no middleman. The challenge is this. Blair said to me, okay, Paul, why hasn't Bitcoin gone mainstream? Why is Bitcoin only accepted in 200,000 places around the world? Yes, Microsoft accept Bitcoin. Yes, Dell accept Bitcoin. Yes, the big corporations accept Bitcoin. But why doesn't the small, medium-term business accept Bitcoin? He goes, I tell you why. And he paused, and he got me thinking. He goes, because you're going into the shop and you're trying to teach that person or sell that person cryptocurrency and Bitcoin. You're selling Bitcoin, Ripple coin, Litecoin, this coin, that coin. It's hard enough to explain Bitcoin to an entrepreneur, but try to explain Bitcoin to a shop owner. What happens? They get confused and they say no. And this happens time and time and time again. He says, so what we're going to do, this is the next statement that really blew my mind. He said, what we're going to do is this. He goes, did you ever hear of Apple computers? Of course I did. He goes, did you ever hear of the iPhone? I said, yes. He goes, well, Apple computers launched an application called Apple Pay. And he says, it's already accepted in over 10 million outlets, heading towards 15 million outlets around the world. He says, the people who put the Apple Pay technology together are colleagues of mine. Blair Baker is the co-founder of the largest exchange in the world, FXCM, which is absolutely huge. I'm a trader myself, so I know the caliber of that exchange. He goes, they're colleagues of mine. They're working with Dascoin, and we're going to be launching DasPay with the same technology. So everywhere in the world where Apple Pay is accepted, DasPay is going to be accepted. So can you imagine already being accepted in more places in the world than Bitcoin? Can you imagine if you are involved in the first company in the world or the first cryptocurrency in the world to go mainstream? Stop and think about that. Because someday somebody is going to get it right. Someday. Now the next statement that Bear backed it up with was this, which really challenged me. You have to remember, I come from the Bitcoin side. Matthias, the business partner, would be like an expert in Bitcoin, and he taught me nearly everything I know about Bitcoin. So I've learned an awful lot from Matthias. So over the last 2 years, I've gained a lot of knowledge. But I come from the decentralized, the Bitcoin hardcore. That's what I think. I don't like the centralized aspect. He goes, Paul, the governments will never ever allow Bitcoin to go mainstream. He goes, why do you say that? He goes, because of regulation. He goes, because of money laundering. He goes, drug money, terrorism. The government will never leave that cryptocurrency go mainstream, ever, he says. He goes, because of the regulation. He goes, you're going to have, the cryptocurrency that gets out into the market and goes to the masses has to be on the regulation. Has to be on the regulation. He says, we're working with one of the top accounting firms in the world, which will be announced very soon. He says, they're going to be auditing our blockchain once a month. So we're going to come from, which I'll explain later in the slides, a centralized aspect and a decentralized aspect, which I'll cover very soon. Very, very exciting, and I'll explain in layman's terms. So Dascoin, we copy the best of Bitcoin and developed it further. We bring cryptocurrency mainstream, the mass public, and create usability. To the mass public and create usability. So again, Dascoin, we copied the best of Bitcoin and developed it further. We bring cryptocurrency mainstream to the mass public and create usability. Now this slide here, guys, is amazing, okay? This slide here, really, I try to put a slide together that really fits everything into one slide. So if you look here at coin leaders is responsible for the marketing arm of the company. Okay, coin leaders. And what happens when you if you buy a package with coin leaders, you're buying a software license. With this software license, you get a thing called cycles. Okay, and what happens? You have to submit your cycles to the network. So it's a process called minting. In Bitcoin, they call it mining. We call it minting. It's a mixture. What happens then when they go into the coins go for minting? They go into a vault in your back office. So guys, this is very important now. So what you got here is a centralized environment. Centralized environment means it's in control of the company. So this is all the centralized part. So you have coin leaders responsible for the marketing arm of the company. What happens? You get cycles as part of your software license. You submit your cycles to the network, and what happens is a process called minting. Then, when the minting takes its place, the coins then go into a vault in your back office. Now, this is still in control of the company. This is the bit I love. You can then withdraw the coins into a decentralized wallet. If anybody questions you on the company, this is what you say to them. It goes into a decentralized wallet, meaning that if coin leaders or Dascoin don't like you tomorrow, and even if you violated every rules in the terms and conditions, they cannot take the coins off you when they're in a decentralized wallet. This is absolutely amazing, guys. This is really amazing. So this is completely in your control. And when you grasp that, it's unbelievable. And this, for me, when they explained this to me, it really sold me in the whole project. It means that when the coins come into me, it's like the blockchain is like in control of me in my wallet. Also, guys, on top of this, for more credibility for the company, for me, was that we have our own exchange. So we have our own exchange that you'll be able to see, and we're going to start off doing future contracts on the public exchange. This is a public exchange that I have seen myself, and from there, then from the public exchange, we're going to launch an internal exchange in January, and then we're going to a public exchange in April to June where we can sell our own coins. So there's so much credibility with this company, and it's all down to these four men. These four men come from four different kind of backgrounds. Michael Mateus, been mainly working in the executive level with some top companies in the online marketplace. Terry Ahern has been mainly a big investor in Canada and has a very good bio, never really in the networking field. George Sakovac, the director of Web Wallet, again, never been in the networking field. And coin leaders, John Preto, also been in a big networker, but he has been in the networking for the past few years. So he's come with the networking experience. So with the bond together, there's a great bond between all of them. That's just, there's four different companies, which is Dascoin, Coin Leaders, Web Wallet, and Das Financial. As you can see here, there's four different owners from four different companies, the way the structure is set up. So right now, guys, we have an affiliate program, and as we all know, this is going over to a binary. The migration will start on the 25th of November, and it will migrate over onto the binary, which will be a process over 1 or 2 week period. Very exciting. But right now, if you sign somebody up, there's a 20% direct commission, which is, so if you someone come in for 5,000, you get 1,000. Then whatever that person makes on the first level, you get a 30% matching bonus. So if he makes 1,000, you make 300. Then if he introduces a friend, whatever he makes on the second level, you match that check by 40%, which is huge. So you make 1,000, you make 400. Then on the third level, you match that check by 50%. So that's really very exciting there. But as we know, with an affiliate program, when they go into 4th and the 5th and the 6th level, then the commissions are not there until they come up into your first 3 levels, which is fine. So when the company started, they had to start from somewhere, so they wanted to start with an affiliate program. So now they're migrating the whole. They've taken one company in the marketplace. I'm not going to mention the name here now today. Has broke every single record in the multi-level marketing arena. Every single record. And what we're doing is we looked at that compensation plan. We took the best from that compensation plan. We put one more level on the binary, which is incredible. Me and Matthias will be doing a binary webinar either Saturday or else Tuesday. Before it goes live, we're going to do a binary. The reason we didn't do it up to now is because it's not finalized. So we didn't want to do a training without it being finalized, but not to worry. Everybody's in a holding tank. So before your binary goes live, you can actually take more positions yourself and place them right by yourself. So don't worry, everybody. We'll do it when we have the full details from the company. Now, as I just said, we were an affiliate program, and now we're going over to a network marketing program. Now, guys, this here is just a projection. As everybody knows, nothing goes up in a straight line. So the company predicts that when the coin goes live, it will go live at 48 cents. Guys, that's just a prediction. That's not a statement from the company. If you look at the disclaimer below, this price chart presented is based solely on predictions and is not a financial forecast of the Dascoin growth. So everything here, this will go up, it will go down, it will go up, it will go down, and they're predicting after a year the coin will be worth $3.38. Now, do I think that's achievable? As a trader, 100%. And another reason I believe that is because of this. And this is very important for people to understand. The only cryptocurrency that has really challenged and stayed with Bitcoin is a cryptocurrency called Ethereum. Ethereum is based on smart contracts. What a smart contract is, let's say Fraser's on the call today, and I go to Fraser, I say, Fraser, can you borrow me €5,000, please? Fraser goes, okay, Paul, no problem, I'll do that. But Paul, do me a favor, just in case something happens to you, you could have an accident or nobody knows. I'll give you €5,000, no problem. But can you come to my solicitor and sign a form? And just to guarantee me, can you put something up for your 5,000? I said, okay, I have a house in London. If anything happens to me, there'll be 15 grand of equity towards that house in your name. So we can do a remortgage, or we do some negotiation. So Fraser's happy, Fraser's protected. We go to his solicitor, my solicitor, they sign the forms. That's a contract. Well, now, guys, you can do these contracts on a decentralized blockchain. This is what Ethereum does. In the future, in the next 3 to 5 years, and this is where everything is heading. Let me give you some more examples. You go to rent a car. You can do a car on blockchain technology. Renting a car, you could say, okay, you write the contract, you're going to pay $100 a week. If the car goes over X amount of mileage or X amount of petrol, you pay extra. If there's a scratch, everything can be wrote on smart contracts. You can do anything on smart contracts. Everybody in the world thinks every bank in the world is looking at the blockchain technology. Everybody thinks they're looking at the Bitcoin. They're not. They're looking at the blockchain technology. They're looking at the smart contracts. In Dascoin, on our decentralized blockchain technology, we can write smart contracts. Ethereum reached the highs of $22, and then it got hacked by the DAO, which I won't go into today. They found a loophole because it's completely decentralized. So they couldn't stop it, and someone legally tried to rob 60 million ethers, and they successfully did it. The coin collapsed to $7. Everybody run away. I bought more. I've been very involved with Ethereum, as in following Ethereum, because I purchased an awful lot of Ethereum myself last year when I found out about them. So anybody in the cryptocurrency space would know about Ethereum. My main Bitcoin trader just came back from China. He's never been involved in multi-level marketing. He doesn't do multi-level marketing. He's just a Bitcoin trader. And he told me Mitsubishi just sponsored an event for Ethereum in China. He said, sorry, not Mitsubishi, Microsoft sponsored an event in China for Ethereum. He goes, buy as much Ethereum as you can. Now, I'm not telling anybody in this call to go and buy as much Ethereum, because everything carries a risk. So I'm just telling you what he told me. He goes, I'm telling you now, the price will double by the end of the year with the amount of investment gone into it. Okay? And we have, on our blockchain technology, we can do the same as Ethereum. Because of our centralized aspect with the company, with a decentralized blockchain, we're not open to be hacked. We're private, in that sense. So if you can think of that's one aspect, and Ethereum went to $22 and it was heading to $50 only for that hack. It will get there eventually again, and that's just smart contracts. That's just one of our products. If you understand what I just said there, You know, just understand what I just said there. You can see where this coin can go. That's besides DasPay. That's besides the exchange. You know, so we have so much to offer, guys. That's why I'm so excited by this project. Let me show you the journey. We started in June 15, 2016. We did a charter sale. And then in June the 30th, the charter sale ended. In July then, they started the affiliate stage of the program, which is what we're in now. That's closing off. It's actually at November 25th, the migration will start. We go up to the binary, which a lot of us are very excited about the binary. In January, Hong Kong is when the launch of the internal exchange. And then April, the launch of the public exchange where we can trade our coins between each other. You know, so everything is step-by-step process, guys. Step-by-step process. Before me and Matthias joined Dascoin, we wanted to see some proofs. It wasn't enough to sell us the idea or sell us the dream. So I've seen the exchange with my own eyes. I've seen the trades on the exchange with my own eyes. The exchange is in existence right now today. I've seen the public exchange. I've also seen the dialogue back and forth with one of the top accounting firms in the world. I can't mention this accounting firm now till all the contracts are signed, but I've seen it. So when I've seen two of them, that was enough for me. Because we spent 2 weeks with the company as well to make sure everything was right for our team. This is not just money for the internet. This is the internet of money. You know, and this is what we're talking about. So, okay, so let me explain how cycles work. Okay, let me grab my calculator. Again, guys, let me explain here of the how this works. This is very exciting, so I'm going to explain this once or twice so people grasp it, because a lot of people still don't understand how cycles work. Okay, we have 5 different packages starting from €100 up to €25,000. So here at €100, what you get is 1,265 cycles. So if I go over here and go 1,265 cycles, one upgrade. So what one upgrade means is they double the amount of cycles you have. So you multiply by 2 equals 2530. You divide by the frequency lock, which is 3.3. You get 767 coins. But right now, the frequency lock is 4.3. So you divide it by 4.3. So right now, you get 588 coins. The frequency lock, guys, is due to change in the next few days on the 24th. And the way this works is like Bitcoin. The more and more people who mine for Bitcoin, the difficulty goes up. The more and more people who submit cycles to the network, the frequency lock will go up. So people are predicting it will go up to 5 on the next frequency lock. So you know, so if you saw the vision of this company 2 months ago, for €100 you got 767 coins. If the coin goes to the market of $1, which I think it will, that's 767, you know, euro, which is incredible. What if it goes to €3? What if it goes to €10? The potential is amazing. Let me give an example of a 5,000 package. So a 5,000, you get 2 upgrades multiplied by 2 equals this. Sorry guys, that's my mistake there. So a 5,000 you get 74,750 cycles by 2 upgrades multiplied by 2 equals 149,500 multiplied by 2 equals 299,000. Divide by 3.3 will give you 90,000 coins. 90,000 coins. Can you imagine today if you had 90,000 Bitcoins or 90,000 Ethereums? We're involved in a few of us in a different cryptocurrency. We got this cryptocurrency for nothing because we bought some founder packages. It reached the highs of $1.50 a few months ago. A lot of people sold. You know, I know people with a few 100,000 of them who sold some of them. So you can imagine how much they made. They're now trading at 40 odd cent. You know, so like I have seen the success stories with other people and with myself around cryptocurrency. So do not ignore these figures. Divide that at the 3.3 lock, you got 90,000. 2 months later, divide at 4.3, which is the current frequency lock, you get 69,534. So if the coin goes to the market at 48 cents, like the company's predicting, That's 33,376 for a 5,000 purchase. You know, it's insane, guys. And eventually at the President's package, which is 25,000, okay, for the package. So you get 373,750 multiplied by, you get 3 upgrades, multiplied by 2 equals this. Multiply by 2 again equals this. Multiply by 2 again equals this, okay? You divide by 3.3, you get 906,000 coins. But the current frequency lock is 4.3. 695,348. Multiply by 48 cents, and I think this is very conservative. That's 333,767 for the 25,000 purchase. That's without ever recommending anybody to the business. That's just about seeing the vision of the company. You know, if you can see the vision of what I just gave you now, if you can even see some of it, you know, in my opinion, something every now and again special comes on the scene, and you can either be a part of it or not. Like when Facebook started, somebody asked me today, what's the advantage of getting in now and 2 years' time? Because if you bought a share in Facebook at the start, or bought a share now, or bought some shares in it now, you know, when would you make more money? At the start. If you got involved in Apple computers at the start, or get involved now, isn't any business, guys. There'll be still fantastic opportunity in this business in 3 and 4 years' time, and we see leaders making millions. But getting involved at the start with the vision of the company, you know, is where the huge money is made, you know, and that's why I see the potential now. So with that, guys, that brings me to the end of my my talk. So what I'm going to do, if there's any questions here now, and we'll get on our guest speaker. So put any questions in the box there, guys, and I just arrange for our speaker to come on here now. I think we might have a problem, guys. The room is full again. Oh, I'm just trying to get on our speaker. 1 second now. Wait, no, 1 second now. Okay, guys. The room is full, and we can't get anybody else in. Let's see. When I'm waiting for trying to get Blair in, I see it's Terry here. Terry, are you there? Hello, Terry. Can you hear me? 1 second, guys. Blair Baker was meant to speak. He's having problems trying to get in. He just sent me. I'm just checking. I didn't check my WhatsApp as I was speaking. I'm going to get Terry. I'm going to trying to get Terry in here. Okay. See, the problem is, guys, we have a full room and there's people happen to leave and there's people coming in straight away. So, guys, give me 2 minutes. Bear with me, okay? I'm just going to try to get it sorted here. 2 minutes. Blair is trying to get in here. So while we're waiting, I'll just answer some questions, okay? Okay. This is getting very popular, guys. We'll have to extend, make the webinar room bigger because it's great to see, you know. It's good complaint, but this happened as well last week. We were on Fraser's webinar and Matthias couldn't get in. So, okay, we'll have to learn from this. It won't happen again. Okay, guys, let me go through some questions. Can we upgrade our packages yet? Steve, no, not yet. And when the binary goes live, it's going to be a migration process. And let's say you have a package for 100, then within that account, you get upgraded package to 500. When you go up to 500, then what'll happen is you'll have 2 packages in the one account. Okay, so you cannot upgrade until the binary goes live. I believe that the blockchain would be launched in January. Basically, the way the process is going to be is that the exchange is ready now. The exchange is ready now, and that will be launched before Christmas. It'll be future contracts on Dascoin, so that'll be very powerful. So we can see the exchange, you can see it in action. It'll be very powerful. And then in January, it's going to be the internal exchange, and then in April to June, it'll be on the public exchange, and the blockchain will be launched as well in the new year. And again, the blockchain will be decentralized, which is very important. Is the frequency lock changing on the 24th or 25th, as many of us want to upgrade? Yes, Pinicky, the frequency lock is changing in the back office, I believe, on the 24th. I stand to be corrected. I believe it's 24th. Need bigger account to run webinars on. Yes, Arthur, I agree. This one always did us. We've actually been called out twice now, so it won't happen again. So I apologize. No, I've gone through some repeat questions, guys. Just bear with me. Okay. Hey, Paul. Great info. No problem. Can you emphasize the core value of Dascoin for industrial traders and secondary users? Can you emphasize that, please, Theo? Then also talk about the coins. Yeah, there's 8.6 billion coins, guys. There'll be 8.6 billion coins, and it will never increase. Please explain that question again, Theo, because I don't think I understood everything properly. Second out. When I get commissions, can I draw it out, or do I have to buy more packages? Now, when you get commissions, if you get commissions from your team, 60% will go into cash, where you can withdraw it straight away, and 40% will go into cycles. Okay, will go into cycles. And depending on what level you're at, let me give an example, which is very important, which a lot of people don't understand. If you're at the 100 level and you sponsor me for 5,000, then right now in the affiliate, you get 20%. That's 1,000. 600 will go into your cash account, and 400 will go into cycles. Because you're at the 100 level, you only get one upgrade on my cycles. If you're at the 5 grand level, the same as me, you get 2 upgrades on my cycles. You know, if you're at the 25 grand level and you sponsor somebody for 5 grand, he gets 2 upgrades. Well, you will match his 2 upgrades. So on his commissions that you're getting from his commissions, the 60-40 breakdown, you're getting 2 upgrades on his cycles. If you sponsor somebody for 25 grand, then you get 3 upgrades on his cycles in your commissions, which is absolutely huge. Okay, guys, just going through more questions here now. Can you upgrade your 100 account to 5,000? Yes, you can indeed. You can upgrade as many times as you want, all the way to the top when the binary goes live. Yes. Will America be launched in the new year? Yes, America is on the agenda to be launched. Will it be launched in January? I don't know. It all depends on the lawyers and the accounting firms to make sure everything is perfect. You have to have white paper, which is a legal requirement to go into America. So the company will have that in place, but they have to just make sure that every single thing is perfect before you enter America. You have to be sure. So they won't rush in there, but yes, they're going there. Debbie, so will it change before we can upgrade? Right. Oh, what you're saying, Debbie? Yeah. Right now, Debbie, as it is now, the frequency will change on 24th, so you won't be able to upgrade. So the upgrade will happen after the change, the way it is right now. Okay, there's a lot of stuff on the upgrade. Some of us want to upgrade before the frequency lock. Will any change be made to allow that? Okay, guys, okay, guys, leave that with me. Leave that with me. I'll ask the company about something about this because there's loads of questions. Yes, I understand that. This is a good question. Will we be able to bring our coins into a decentralized wallet starting from January? Yes. This is what's going to happen. When the binary goes live, okay, when the binary goes live, and when the binary is it might take 2 weeks for the migration to happen. Every person has to download a decentralized wallet. Okay, you have to have a decentralized wallet attached to your account. Okay, everyone will be KYC'd, so everything will be above board and regulated. And then what happens when you do that? Remember now, you won't have any coins in January, because what happens? Each upgrade will take between 90 and 120 days. So once that upgrade takes place, and whatever the frequency is, the coins you get then will start off at a controlled basis. Let's say if you're on a present package, you can take out 187 euros per day in value of coins, 5 days a week. Then as each week progresses, you'll be able to take out more and more and more. The reason this is when the minting starts, I believe on the 19th of December, everybody's in a queue. So if the company leave everybody dump their coins in the one go, then it will flatten the price in the market. So it has to be a controlled process. But remember this, guys, as each week goes on and each month goes on, you'll be able to withdraw. It'll be more and more and more and more. And then as time progresses, there'll be no cap. You can just get access to your coins, no problem. I hope that answers it. How secure is this is a good question. Question that comes up a lot. Thanks, Ranuk. How secure is the blockchain? Because yesterday one cryptocurrency blockchain got hacked. 3 people lost over 70k each, but today all been refunded. Which raises question, if blockchain is decentralized, how can someone hack it and later company refund? What is the security and level of Dascoin? Yes, that is a big question. How secure is this blockchain? Like if a blockchain is decentralized, like if someone comes in and I'm in blockchain.info, and if someone robs my bitcoins today, I cannot get them back. They're gone. So I'm not sure the details of that company or how it works. So it would be very unfair for me to comment on that. All I can say is that we're coming with a centralized aspect, but our wallet is decentralized. So the web wallet we have will be completely decentralized and very, very secure. But remember this, guys, if you lose your passwords for your wallet, if you lose your backup details, nobody, and I mean nobody, can get into your wallet again. So you will lose your coins. That's the thing about decentralized. If I lose my Bitcoin details and my secondary password and so forth, nobody, not even blockchain.info, can get into my account. So you have to be very careful with your passwords. But our blockchain will be completely at the highest security. Everything CoinLeaders and Dascoin are doing is at the highest level. Everything. And I believe when they announce their accounting firm to the public and the people who they are, and remember, guys, I've seen the dialogue, with this firm. When this is announced to the world, nobody will question Dascoin. Nobody. You think about it. If anybody can say anything about a company, if you say, this is our accounting firm, and this is us on a public exchange, who can argue with that? Think of all the products I mentioned on today's call with the #1 compensation plan on the planet. There's nobody going to touch us. And I'm telling you now, there's people in this webinar today have no idea of the money they're going to make, have no idea. And I would never be that bullish. I just know from what I've seen so far up to now. And Dubai, guys, remember this. There's a lot of questions on Dubai. I wanted to cover this towards the end of my questions. There's a few more I have to go through now. Guys, Dubai is coming up on the 24th. I got my calendar here. Look at my calendar, the bottom right hand side. 24th, 25th, 26th, and 27th. Guys, I can't emphasize this enough. There's a competition. Fraser did a call with us last week, and he went through it in great detail. And there's a competition, as in like a promotion for you to do sales to get there. So you can actually put in the work, put in the grind, and qualify for free. Okay, qualify for free. If you don't qualify and you can't qualify, I just met a team there, people there. They came all the way from Australia. They were in Ireland visiting, and I just went for lunch from there. And they're going to be at the Dubai event. They didn't qualify. They're going paying. I think they qualified for some part of it, but they're going paying for the rest. So, depending on what sales you do, you might qualify for a voucher for the flight. You might qualify for an event ticket. But what I'm saying, guys, this is an opportunity of a lifetime to meet the owners of the company. If you get involved in the business, would not it be good to sit down with the owners, spend a few days with the owners, meet the leaders? Like me personally, I go to all the events. People ask me, to succeed online, what do you got to do? I have no magic formula. I tell this to everybody. I have no magic formula. What I do, I put in the work, I put in the grind, and I turn up at all the events. I look for the people who are successful. I ask them, how are you successful? What did you do? And they all say, Paul, you don't stay around the circle of the company. Get involved in the nucleus. Get involved in the middle. Get involved with the leaders. Get involved with the owners. When you're in the middle of a company, then you learn. Learn what they did. They've been involved in other companies, and me still. I went and met a friend last week. He's in another company, and one of his downline is the 7th biggest earner in the world. And I went and spent the day with him, learning off him, asking him, how's the binary work, and what are you doing? And, this guy taught me when I was young. And I'm back again asking him for more information. And that's what I'm like, a sponge. I don't have all the answers, far from it. I'm no expert, but for me, anyone in this call that's thinking about Dubai, there's two ways. You either push hard, bring in the sales. If you believe you can bring in the sales, you can get there for free. You know, even if you bring in some sales, you can get there. If you can't bring in the sales and finances allow you to be there, well, then be there. Don't even question it. Because coming back from Dubai, you'll never have another doubt again, and this company will be your main focus. What about KUC, mandatory or not? Yes, everyone will have to be KYC'd. Our blockchain will be audited once a month, and everybody joining will have to be KYC'd. Very, very important for our company going forward. Okay, guys, I'm just going through more questions here. Let me check there and see any update from Blair. Bear with me. Okay. Second now. No, still no luck, guys. Okay, guys, we'll give another 5 minutes to answer more questions if we can't, because I apologize for this, and I'll make sure the next call this won't happen. I'll arrange another call very soon. Wait a 1 second. 1 second, we might have luck. Second now. Second now, guys. Okay, I think we're going to get in there. Once I can answer more questions here now. Yes, please. Okay, 1 second. I was going through. Was it? Okay, guys, just hang on there, guys. Blair is going to get in right now. I think he's coming through there now. Okay, well, let's go through more questions. If that an upgrade or new license, i.e., if you have a €500 license and upgrade to 25,000, is that another 24,500? Good question, John. No, John, what it is that if you have €500 and you put in €500, if you want to upgrade, then you have to put in a separate 25,000. So you'll have actually two licenses within the one account. You could even start at 100, upgrade to 500, 500 then upgrade to 2,000. So you put in 100, upgrade to 500, separate 500, 500 upgrade to 2,000, put in a separate 2,000. You can do that all the way up to 25,000. Okay, second now. Is blockchain centralized or decentralized for Dascoin? Decentralized. Very important. Every digital asset is decentralized, which is very important. So the smart contracts, the coins that you get, everything is decentralized. One second now. How many is expected in Dubai? Noel, I don't know. I don't know the defined numbers from the company, but I know they're expecting a nice crowd there, but I don't know. A lot of people, Noel. Oh yeah, guys, thanks for bringing this up. Guys, please make sure that you go into the back office under events and you click on the sign up to buy a ticket. Okay, very, very important. A lot of people are going to the event and they've never yet logged in to get their ticket. So the company doesn't know how many is going. I just chatted with Michael Matthias this morning. So please, if you're on this call, please log in and buy your ticket. Everybody has to buy a ticket. Now, 1 second now. More questions here. Let me go down more. Also, with DasPay, can we sign up merchants who do not have Apple Pay? Will there be any way to bring them in? Right now, Theo, it will be just all merchants with Apple Pay. But I suppose when Blair gets in, he'd be the best person to ask that question too. But right now, from my understanding, it's everybody just with Apple Pay. Okay, guys, I'm just going to mute. Blair's joined us. I was going to mute this there for 2 seconds so I can help him in. So just stay with us, guys. Don't move because he has some fantastic information for us. I'll just take a few more questions there now. Blair is just getting in now. Sorry for this, guys. Let me go through some more questions. Where do I see Dascoin in the next 5 years? It's a good question. I suppose from my from the webinar I just done, I suppose I give you some insight. Like I believe, like someday somebody will bring cryptocurrency mainstream, and I believe with Dascoin we have the potential to do that. And if you pull that off, and if you are that person, then you're able to the money that can be made on top of that is incredible. So I believe that we'll bring a few million people into Dascoin, no problem. And if we can pull that off, then with our public exchange, on top of that with smart contracts, and that's only some of the stuff. There's more announcements in Dubai that I don't even know what's going to be announced. So there's way more stuff like Michael Matthias and Terry Ahern only told us last week about smart contracts, and I couldn't believe they kept that from us. But they said to me, "There's so much more coming, Paul. You've no idea how big this is going to be." So it's very inspiring. Where's the biggest growth in the world right now? The biggest growth would be Poland, where Poland are leading the show right now. But Asia is really kicking into this place. UK is doing very good. China is flying. China is going unbelievable, and right now is really starting to get big leaders there. We're going there next month, me and Paulo. So there's lots of big leaders in this group. It would be unfair to mention them all, Fraser has been another one, and he's doing huge work as well, and he's the people I met this morning were actually from Fraser's team, in from Australia. They're going to Dubai. So I know we spoke with me, Fraser, and Matthias, who were a big leader this morning from Cambodia. And there's loads of other leaders. It'd be wrong for me to name all the names, because I could be here all day. But it's developing all over the world. Every corner of the world, it's developing, 1 second now. So we've leaders from all over the place, So any more questions there, guys? Just this. 1 second. Put them in here. Just going back over and over a few double questions. A second now. Hi Paul, how does DasPay operate? When you say you will be able to pay for products, is that from our cash account? So we'll have to sell coins on the internal market? Good question. The way it'll work is like this: is that let's say you'll have an application on your phone, okay? An application on your phone. And with the application on your phone, okay, obviously it will be Dascoin application. With Apple Pay, the way it works is that you can you can put your credit cards on. 1 second, guys. I have Blair's after getting in, so I'll just cut this in now. So I'm just going to get Blair on here now, and we can come back to. Here he is, Blair Baker. Okay, great. Hello, Blair. Can you hear us? Hello, Blair.
Hey, Paul, can you hear me?
We can hear you perfect. No, Blair, thank you so much. And okay, guys, thanks for everyone for staying on the call. It'll be worth the wait. So, Blair, basically what I've just done a presentation on the business. Went through the details of the business, cryptocurrency, Bitcoin. I spoke a bit about Daspay, about the future, and basically, like this call, everyone's on the call today. We have a full room, full house, and everyone's on the call today, not to listen to me, to listen to you. So basically, if you want to give people a rundown on yourself, the future of what's coming and of the business, then people can stop. Guys, from now on, any questions from Blair, put them in the box now, and forget about every other question you asked. We'll start from now down. So Blair, the floor is yours. Thank you so much.
Great, Paul. Thank you for that. And it's midnight here where I am, so I think apologies if we had a confused time. Regarding myself, extensive Wall Street background. I co-launched the world's largest brokerage company back in the 1990s. I've run other large sell-side organizations, valuation of 1 to over 250 million US. I was a central banker here in Asia for 4 years, reported directly to the governor of the central bank. I've done numerous things on the buy side and sell side. Managed a large portfolio, resulting in $3.5 to $4 billion US in trades in the credit markets and equity markets, and done quite a lot. Over the past 18 months, I have dedicated my time to learning about and working with unique technologies, specifically in the payments technology space. So in becoming involved in Dascoin, I quickly realized that we had a unique opportunity to apply some of these technologies to the digital asset space, to the cryptocurrency space, and that's one thing that we're currently working on. I'm very excited about that because it is unique technology, quite literally from the team that invented the mobile payments transaction several years ago and has perfected it. So in terms of utility, that's the one item that makes me the most interested, because it's the one with the biggest amount of upside. From my perspective, with regard to cryptocurrency, the most compelling question relates to usability, spendability, and fungibility. In other words, it's great that I have this cryptocurrency asset, but ultimately, how do I spend it? So the payments ecosystem that we are working to build at Dascoin will address that question. And of course, when you talk about payments, you of course need to support payments through liquidity, which is one of the reasons why we are rolling out Dascoin on one or more public trading exchanges. Because when we can introduce Dascoin on one or more public trading exchanges, then we create that access point globally in the markets, where a trader can buy or sell Dascoin on the market. So generating liquidity is quite a significant requirement, and that's why we're utilizing, I think, some very robust trading technology that we're able to access. When you look at all the number of exchanges that Bitcoin is traded on globally right now, it's obviously quite a few. And when you look at Bitcoin's trading velocity in terms of how liquid it is and how easy it is for buyers and sellers to actually transact in Bitcoin, that's what we obviously aspire to with Dascoin. So the trading exchange, I should say trading exchanges, and also payments, the payments ecosystem are the two big ones in front of us now in terms of utility. In terms of other initiatives, we're doing quite a few things on top of those two initiatives to create utility. Paul, I don't know if anybody can hear me here. Paul, am I coming through clearly?
Yeah, we can hear
Great.
you, but there's a bit of background noise. All right, there's a bit of background noise behind you. All right, but we can hear
Yeah,
you.
no, I wish I could control that. Unfortunately, I can't. I'm just in a difficult location here in China with
No problem. We can hear you.
poor
We
Wi-Fi.
can hear you. We can hear you anyway. We can hear you. That's
Great,
good.
great,
I have
great.
a question. I have a question here, right, for you, right? One of the guys just asked, and I was just about to answer, and you came on the call. Hi, Paul. How does DasPay operate? When you say you will be able to pay for products, is that from our cash account? So will we have to sell coins on the internal market?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So DasPay is actually intended to be a broad array of payment vehicles inside a holistic payments ecosystem. So with regard to, let's say, mobile payments, which is really where I think the end game will be won in the payment space. What we have with that ecosystem is we have there's issuance capabilities, there's processing capabilities, there's security requirements called tokenization capabilities and the like. So the solution that we are focusing on relates to all of those. So we've identified solution providers in that entire ecosystem. So I think DasPay, as we are generically calling it, in its most detailed format, would allow goods and services to be paid for utilizing Dascoin as the medium of exchange. So obviously, at the present time, let's say with regard to Bitcoin, one can store Bitcoin on a piece of plastic, on a prepaid card, and then that value actually would get converted to fiat. So let's just say, for instance, euro, and it's actually euro which allows the transaction to be finalized. So there's actually both things happening. There's a conversion from, let's say, crypto to fiat, and then there's let's call the net equation Bitcoin as the store of value, and then the actual payment in euro represents the medium of exchange. So DasPay, again, as a broad name, is being developed with those processes in mind.
Very good. Blair, another question here is with DasPay, can we sign up merchants who do not have Apple Pay? Will there be any way to bring them in?
Well, when you say don't have Apple Pay, Apple Pay is Apple Pay is simply a payment solution geared towards one particular operating system. So so Apple Pay is relevant to the conversation to the extent that our solution provider, in other words, a big contributor to the DasPay ecosystem, is actually the company that developed these specifications for Apple Pay through one of the major card associations. So they were intimately involved from a standpoint in its creation. So with regard to I'll call it the universality of the DasPay product, there will probably, from our standpoint, be two or three major steps that DasPay takes in order to get to the final end game, which I think is a broad array of mobile payment solutions. So I think one of those steps would probably see it whereby various operating systems can benefit from this technology, including Apple. In the final end game format remains to be seen, but ultimately there are things that, let's say, that major technology companies like Apple controls with regard to their API that we don't control. Suffice to say, we're working with the top technology providers and solution providers out there, and we will make our payment solution as broadly acceptable as possible.
Great. And no, the next question you might have answered already, but I'll ask anyway. Hey Blair, can you emphasize the core value of Dascoin for industrial traders and secondary users? Then also mention, yeah, that's it. So he's asking here, can you emphasize really the core value of Dascoin? I suppose you just did that there in the last kind of answer,
Well, I think
So
there's.
if we had asked this question, what would you think would be the main core? I suppose to put it this way, what's the main core value of Dascoin in your opinion?
Well, there's a lot of ways to answer that question. I would say at its most core level, it's the fact that it's a proof of resource digital asset. So we talk about Bitcoin in terms of a proof of work. We talk about other cryptos in terms of being proof of stake, even delegated proof of stake. We conceptualize that with the way the cycles work and related processes in finally arriving at Dascoin, then we come to this concept of a proof of resource cryptocurrency, a proof of resource digital asset, and it's reaching that level where there is that digital authentication for stakeholders, or DAS, digital authentication for stakeholders, where a person's KYC, a person's identity, is being validated, is being established digitally, and that data is actually controlled or owned by the person, by the stakeholder himself. That's a unique concept, and that's extremely important and valid to the cryptocurrency space. In contrast, 180 degrees other way is Bitcoin, where there's that anonymity. In other words, I could go down to the corner here in central China with my mobile device, and somebody can pass some Bitcoin to me, digital wallet to digital wallet. And I've not really been onboarded per se and had my credentials validated. So that's kind of a transaction that governments and regulatory authorities may not view in the most favorable light. Another reason why it's important to have that level of authentication, digital authentication of stakeholders, is because the solutions and utility that we're talking about here are quite advanced. For instance, with regard to the public trading exchange, there are, on that technology, there are currently more than 20 banks, 20 global banks that are providing various types of liquidity into that environment. So as you can appreciate, banks want to be associated with counterparties that are transparent, that are known to them, etc. They don't want to be working with individuals who are, let's say, unable to pass know your client protocols. Much in the same way that when we start thinking about DasPay in terms of the payment acceptance networks like down the road Visa and MasterCard and perhaps even China UnionPay, we need to make sure that the environment that we are creating of participants has also been adequately vetted, because the last thing we want to do is to run afoul of any sort of anti-money laundering or counterterrorism financing finance requirements. So I think that at core value, underpinning Dascoin is that unique element, which is the digital authentication of stakeholders. And I would say built upon that foundation, the other I'll use the term unique things are the public trading exchange technology, because it's not currently being utilized in the crypto space, and then also the mobile payments and the payments the payments environment. Also, I think has a very high degree of being unique.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. And Blair, there's a few questions here about the exchange as well. With there's some say, can Blair explain the process of the journey of Dascoin from next month, which will be the futures on Dascoin, taking us to the internal exchange, then taking us to the public exchange. Can you just explain? There's a few questions around this now, so can you just explain that journey for people?
Sure. With regard to first of all, with regard to the public exchange, I'm going to go. Sorry, the internal exchange. I'm going to defer to Michael and to Terry on that one. They can, I think, best apprise regarding timing there. So regarding the public trading exchange, yes, as you noted, there the intention is for there to be the Dascoin futures contract. Will likely precede the actual circulation of Dascoin as a spot trading instrument. So Dascoin, as we're all aware, or I think we're all aware, will be minted or digitally produced, let's say, from January 14. That culminates with a major Dascoin event in Hong Kong, which hopefully many people will be able to attend. So thereafter, with the process of Dascoin being in the vault and then formulaically ending up in the web wallet, that will create the opportunity to have Dascoin traded against various fiat instruments on the public trading exchange. So it's starting off with the futures instrument and then ending up with Dascoin as a spot instrument on the public trading exchange. So it's probably notable. It's not just one public trading exchange that we're talking about here. There's the opportunity to have Dascoin traded as both a futures instrument and a spot instrument on multiple trading exchanges. From my vantage point, I would like to see Dascoin become as liquid and as tradable as possible. And that means being traded on public trading exchanges in various markets, various regions, different geographies, and multiple jurisdictions. So in starting off with one or two, the intention is to grow that number of public trading exchanges as aggressively as possible, so that we can maximize liquidity. Because ultimately, maximization of liquidity is what allows each of us as stakeholders to eventually benefit and realize some of those capital gains down the road that we're all seeking, and also to support the various initiatives and different types of utility that we're contemplating here with Dascoin and the ecosystem.
Whoa, powerful stuff. So Blair, that's fantastic. Listen, you really covered an awful lot there, and there was an awful lot of questions, and you just summarized everything up there. So I want to take this time to thank you. And before we end up, this is a question from myself for you. Like, someone coming from your background of being you're very modest, and you say like being the co-founder, one of the co-founders of the largest exchange in the world. Coming over to then of a company like Coin Leaders, what they're doing, and they're bringing it to the multi-level marketing arena. What was the main thing that attracted you to this challenge, or this kind of I suppose everybody, if they go to a different business, there must be something that sparks a fire in their belly. What was the main thing that caught your attention with this project?
Yeah, it's a good question. I've been asked it multiple times, and I'm sure I could answer it from multiple different angles, but I spent probably at least 20 years of my career on Wall Street, very, very close to central banks and monetary authorities, and closely monitoring them, and quite frankly, earning a lot of money doing so, especially on the sell side of the market. Whether it's the Federal Reserve or European Central Bank or SMB or Bank of Japan or Bank of England, and then a variety of other central banks. It's that long for me. It's that long experience with monetary policy and central banks and the like, where I said, it's interesting becoming involved at an early process in the creation of a new money, a new currency, if you will, and being able to take my background on Wall Street and related policies and apply them to this type of environment. So in that regard, it's a challenge. Also, the professionalism of the team. When you look at the background of the team and the founders, co-founders, etc., we're talking about persons with I think, very amazing pedigrees and persons who have worked at major financial institutions and have started very successful technology companies. So it's being able to work with other professionals and apply our various core competencies and disciplines to reaching a big success. It's also the ability to apply a lot of the different access to technologies that I have, both on the exchange trading side and also the payment side. And I realized, I said, we can create a digital asset, a cryptocurrency here that is a major differentiator in the market, because we have access to these things that other people do not have access to. So just a variety of reasons why I wanted to become involved. And I think just kind of just in closing here, when you think about Dascoin in terms of being the digital authentication of stakeholders in that ecosystem, you have a group of persons who built this thing correctly. They realize that they don't want to be a dark coin. They don't want to be some nefarious thing. They're building this to make sure that there is conformity with generally accepted best practices from a regulatory standpoint. I note, Terry internally circulated an item regarding how Singapore is moving towards a cryptocurrency, and of course Canada already has its own version of a digital asset. Well, in order to be held in good stead by these governments and these regulators, you just have to be make sure you're doing it the right way. And it's that approach to doing things the right way, proactively, out of the chute, that impressed me with the approach being taken by Michael and team. So those are various reasons in a very long-winded way, with apologies, to answer your question, Paul.
That's amazing, Blair. Absolutely amazing. So, guys, I started off the call and telling you one of the reasons I joined the business was when I met Blair, and Blair challenged my mind on cryptocurrency and challenged my mind on being completely focused on the decentralized model. And what Blair just outlined there in the call, in answering the questions, and then closing off why he came from his industry into something like this. So, guys, if it's good enough for Blair, the co-founder of the largest exchange in the world, is certainly good enough for me. So, guys, so anyone who's on the fence, anybody looking for the first time, anybody thinking about going to Dubai, whether you're in the business or not, take massive action and just go for it. As I said, once in a lifetime, something special comes along, and I say it time and time again. I've never been like this with a program before. I've never seen something with so much potential. It's like being involved in Bitcoin at the start. Like, we are the new Bitcoin, and we are going to make a mark in the cryptocurrency space with the people we have behind the company. So, guys, it's very exciting, and it's only just the beginning. So with that, I'd like to give a big thanks for Blair. Thank you for your time. You're in China. It's going to pass midnight. And a big thanks from all the team. A lot of guys are putting in the message box now saying thank you, Blair, very much. So, Blair, from us and all the team,
no, thank you very much. I appreciate everybody's time. Look forward to seeing you in Dubai and Ireland thereafter.
Yes, guys, yeah. I was going to mention that as well. I sent it on the WhatsApp yesterday. Blair is going doing a European tour. I put it on the WhatsApp yesterday. We will be after Dubai. We're focusing on Dubai. After Dubai, we will be putting a big marketing campaign. Blair is going to be coming across Lithuania. He's going to be doing Ireland, doing the UK in the new year. He's going to be doing Poland, Portugal, and many, many more countries. So, guys, we're very lucky to be fortunate in the early stages getting this support from the company. So, with that, guys, I wish everybody good luck and have an amazing week. Take care.
Thank you, everybody. Have a great day. Appreciate your time.
Thank you, Blair. Thank you, guys.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.